Taurus, this is your tarot reading for the month of October. Now, I think it was about the middle of this year that I believed you'd moved on, and it was a false dawn, you slipped back. I think you have moved on now. I think you really have. But I've got this distinct feeling you're trying to run before you can walk. Look at that middle card. That's the Knight of Wands. I mean, he is brave, he is fearless, but he rushes into things. Does that mean you're trying to run before you can walk? Quite possibly. If we look at the past, it was characterised by fear of the unknown. But now you are going through these major changes. Major changes. And I think you have learnt the lessons of the past, but you don't quite know how to behave now. In the future, I think the path will be illuminated to you through small victories. And I think people will spot that you're being victorious. So I think it'll be known to everybody that you have changed. What is going to lead to the outcome is you seeking out a new knowledge. Well, that's understandable. You know, if we've had a major change, both in your paradigm and yourself, then you're looking for answers. You're looking for what is it all about, you know? What would change it, change everything, is a judgment. Hang on, is it judgment? Or justice? It's judgment. So what would change everything is a karmic judgment. Now, you may consider you've done enough in the past to deserve some karmic retribution. But all along, Taurus, I've said that you've been more of a victim. That doesn't mean to say that you won't experience some negative effects. But I think largely you're being given quite a good breeze so that you can make the changes. And this is karmic. Having sought this new information, you then start to seek how to manifest, which is what the new paradigm's all about. But I think you're still seeing things too materialistically. I don't think you've quite got there yet, which is why I say I think you're trying to run before you can walk. But let's look at each of these energies individually. Now, the overall energy is the Knight of Wands, and I think you've behaved like this quite a few times in the past, Taurus. He's a very brave knight. He's not fazed by anything. Very quick knight, but he does rush into things that maybe he shouldn't. So I think the overall energy of this reading is you trying to run before you can walk. And I think that does characterise you, Taurus. I think you're one of those people that once you've grasped something, you want to get it done, you want it to happen, and you want it now. And a lot of what's going on at the moment is about patience and learning patience. And you're going to knock your head a few times until you've learned that. Now, in the past, What characterised the past was you being frightened, fearful of the unknown. I'd not really seen you that way previously, Taurus. I'd seen you as being more manipulated. But of course, you know, how were you being manipulated? Was it the unknown? Your behaviour was almost compulsive. You were repeating both good things and bad things without thought, as though you just sought what you knew, the familiar. And maybe that was being frightened of the unknown. But now, Taurus, things really have changed. Now, as I say, I think this happened to you before in the middle of this year, and you slipped back because of when things change. It's about having learnt the lessons of the past and moving on, and you failed to move on. But I think this time you do move on. Your problem is you're too anxious to move on. You can feel this change. You can feel that you have changed. And you're so anxious to prove it. But as I say, a part of this change is learning patience. It's abandoning all of your own old ways and learning completely new ways. And you're anxious to learn them, but being anxious is one of your old ways. Taurus, I think the way for you to learn, and as I say, you need to establish patience, but is by having small victories. I think you're the sort of person that when you want something, you want it all and you want it now. When really the universe is saying, look, set yourself small goals, reach those goals, and clarify that you're reaching those goals by checking if people can also see that you've changed. Because I'm not too certain that you're that good at even knowing how you've changed, knowing that you'll be meeting these goals. So do check it out with others. Do check that people can see that you're making these changes. But you are going to make them. Now this is in the future, so this is pointing the path for your future development, which I think is entirely positive. Sorry if I'm making this sound negative. It's just a little bit of a warning in here, because I think it is entirely positive. You know, Taurus, in many of my interactions with people on this platform, people who contact my channel, I can feel a massive urgency, a complete lack of ability to sit still and contemplate. People who want solutions like that, you know. Somebody, I think it was less than a month ago, contacted me and they were certain that they'd been infected with a jinn through eating food. And they wanted my help, they wanted my phone number, and don't give my phone number out, not like that. I could feel this massive urgency, and they were saying they were very ill, they couldn't even get out of the house. And I said, okay, I know someone who can help you. They're in Java, but if you can get to Jakarta on this date, they'll be in Jakarta. And I'm not going to tell you where they live. I don't want to give the game away, but they lived in Europe, you know. They said, well, I can't get to. And it's like, well, you've approached me with a problem that you're saying is so bad you cannot even get out of the house. and yet you're not willing to come to Indonesia to resolve it. Now, maybe they didn't think that Bapak could resolve it, but he definitely could have. Maybe they didn't believe me. It doesn't matter. And then they said, well, can I have his number? I mean, he wouldn't accept a phone call from a stranger anyway. Apart from anything else, his English isn't good enough. He certainly doesn't speak the European language that they would sooner speak, and I doubt for 1 minute they had any Bahasa Indonesia. And people want solutions like this, and you're a bit like that, aren't you, Taurus? I can feel this energy, this impatient energy. You're looking for answers. Why is it like this? Why has this happened? Why was it me? Why was this? You'll get there. You'll get there in the end. It's going to take time, Taurus. Don't be so impatient. Now, I believe that the universe is karmically rewarding you. I know you blame yourself somewhat for things that have happened in the past, and maybe you do need to shoulder some blame, but the truth is you're much more a victim than you are a villain. And I've been trying to tell you that for a long time, and I don't think the penny has dropped yet, Taurus. But the universe knows it. And that's why they're rewarding you. That's why, even though you ignored the universe, they're offering you this change again. And the universe is patient with your impatience. So you have this wonderful opportunity to change. I don't think you grasp it as you should, because you are going to continue with this impatience. But nevertheless, you'll get there. But you could shortcut it by abandoning this impatience, abandoning this desire to control. This impatience, this desire to understand and control everything, leads to another desire. It might be exactly the right desire, and that's the desire to manifest. Because this new paradigm is about how we co-create. I wonder if you've been offered this opportunity to jump through what many others are still struggling to get there. I wonder. I'm not sure. What you must do is see it as not controlling, not be impatient, and this could be about materialism, and it could be saying don't be materialistic. Could be that, I'm not sure. But I do have this sort of feeling, this real feeling, that you are going to get there. You're going to get there. You're not stupid, I know that. So you'll learn. Taurus, you feel that you've done a lot of wrong in your life. And I'm sure you have. But the truth is you've been much more a victim. Much more a victim than the villain. And the universe is going to reward you. And the way that I think you've been a victim is you've been fearful of the unknown. And others have been able to exploit that in you. And you've not really understood that. You've not really understood it yourself. The universe is giving you this new opportunity to change yet again. Now, it already gave you an opportunity to change in the middle of this year, and you slipped back, but it's giving you a new opportunity. Why are you getting these new opportunities? Well, it is because you've been a victim. It's karmic. Probably those who've wronged you are going to be harmed. You may have some negative consequences, but overall your consequences are very good. But you're anxious, you want to change, you want to embrace change, you want to control it. You're impatient, and you're not going to get anywhere through impatience. You want to understand it all. What's happening? Why is it happening? How can I do better, even? When the universe wants you to relax. It's just possible, that this impatience, if it can be directed in the right way, actually you jumpstart through things and get far further than what other zodiac signs are struggling with. And you're able to co-create, which is what this new paradigm is all about. I'm not sure that that's what the energies are telling me, but certainly there's a possibility that you can do that. I think much more likely that you will begin to understand these things slowly and piecemeal. And if you have achievable small targets, you will get there. I'm not even certain that you will understand that you're getting there. And you probably need to check out with others, can they see the change in you. But change is definitely coming for you, Taurus. It really is.